And we are live. It's your boy Dominic Rich. And yeah, I'm live. I'm actually doing a live, but I went private with the live because it's late. It's actually 2:37 a.m. local time, and I have work. Yeah, 3 hours from now. But my earlier live stream was interrupted by my son because usually when I go live, he's sleeping, but he woke up, so I had to cut the live short. But knowing me, I like to complete everything. And I've been doing a live stream for every match week since match day 1. Now we're in match day 20 on match week 20, and I can't just not do a roundup of this week's matches. It was such a weird week, but I still have to get it done. It was so weird that I almost didn't get it done. So if you were one of the people who were in the initial live stream, here you go. I'm finishing it. If you are tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. But we are going to talk match week 20, the roundup. All right? It was one of the weirdest weeks where I didn't get many predictions right because there were just some weird results, some freak results. But without further ado, I don't have much time. I got to sleep. Got to get a little sleep before I get to work. So let me just give my thoughts, my brief thoughts on each and every one of the 7 games that were played for match week 20. So if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if you haven't yet done so. So let's talk. Let us talk. So in match week 20, United defeated Burnley 3-1. Chelsea and Brighton played to a 1-1 draw. Brighton with another late equalizer. Man City beat Brentford barely. Crystal Palace brush aside Norwich City, who went the entire December without scoring a single goal, nor picking up a single point. Southampton stunned Spurs after they went down to 10 men. They were still able to draw the game. Watford lost again, 5 in a row now, to West Ham United, who needed that win badly. And Liverpool, shockingly, in my opinion, lost to Leicester. They should have never lost that game. So we're going to talk about each and every one of these fixtures. I have some notes written down for each and every game, and I'll be referring to my notes to do a brief roundup. Let's start with the game between Watford and West Ham. Just note that Arsenal and Wolves, I think, were supposed to play. Aston Villa, Leeds, the Everton game as well got postponed. And who were they supposed to play? Can't even remember right now. You know what I'm saying? But 3 matches were postponed. I think Villa didn't play. Everton, Leeds, Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle, Everton. Yeah, so those teams we won't be touching on in this week's roundup. So let's talk. Let us talk. Let's go back to where I was talking about. Watford 1, West Ham United 4. Was that the game I said I was going to start with? It doesn't even matter. Let's talk about this game. So Watford losing the 5th consecutive game under Claudio Ranieri. This is not good at all. This is not good. Ominous stuff here for Watford, where they have already sacked the manager this season, and it looks like it could happen again. Francisco Sierralta and Adam Messina came back into the team. Ozan Tufan started as well. Danny Rose, Tom Cleverley missed the game through injury. Mark Noble started in place of the suspended Declan Rice, and that's actually, I think, his first start for the season, if I'm not mistaken. Mikel Antonio also started the game after recovering from coronavirus. First goal, 4th minute. Emmanuel Dennis, he has been on fire this season, to say the least. That's his 8th goal of the season, set up by the Norwegian international Josh King for his 3rd assist. And recently, Watford has been scoring the first goal in the game, but still ended up losing. This is something that they have to actually manage. They haven't been managing games well. Same thing against Brentford. Emmanuel Dennis scored first, but still they lost the game. They really got to get their act together, and I don't know how they're not in the relegation zone, but they're just outside. Burnley, with a few games in hand, could actually pass them. So after an early goal by Watford, West Ham did come back into the game with Ben Rama smashing one into the crossbar in the 10th minute. And the goal came in the 27th minute through Thomas Shusek, who has been teasing to score for quite a few games without any luck. Jared Bowen, who I said was a player to watch for each match, actually picked up the assist. Good shot by the Czech Republic international to make it 1-1. Another goal came 2 minutes later through Said Ben Rama. After threatening earlier, he did get his goal set up by Mikel Antonio. The shot did deflect off of a goalkeeper, defender. I don't know why I said goalkeeper, but it was on course to go in the goal nevertheless. Hence the reason why it was given to Said Ben Rama. So 2-1 to West Ham. Good fight back. For Watford, Kiko Femenia was forced off, injured. The Spaniard was replaced by Imran Louza, the Moroccan international, who should be heading to the AFCON soon. 2-1 at halftime for West Ham United, and they surely did not relinquish that lead. But they could have done so when Sissoko shot in the 52nd minute. Good opportunity, big chance to equalize, was missed. And Fabianski pulling off the good save. 58th minute. The goal came. Antonio doing the great work to keep that ball alive. Jared Bowen in pursuit was taken down by goalkeeper, the Austrian Daniel Bachmann. At first, referee did not give the penalty, but on review, on VAR review, they actually give the penalty. Very sloppy and clumsy stuff by Daniel Bachmann to put Watford further behind. Mark Noble playing in place of Declan Rice. Designated penalty taker stepped up and dispatched it brilliantly. Is Mark Noble going to retire at the end of the season and move on to, becoming a manager or something? He looks like the quintessential manager, if you ask me, right? So Watford did fight back. Josh King, 77th minute header went wide. West Ham had to make a full substitution through Ben Johnson, a reoccurring injury. Masuaku replaced him. West Ham has been dealing with a lot of injuries. Agbana, Zuma, Cresswell, Johnson himself, Fredericks, Kufal at one time. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries. And I think that's one of the reasons for the drop-off in their form there as well. So Antonio did get a chance saved by Bachmann in the 91st. And then Jared Bowen in the 92nd set up the substitute Croatian international Nikola Vlasic for his first goal for West Ham United. And I'm happy for Vlasic because he did get a previous stint at Everton, failed, went to CSKA Moscow, performed well. He's back in the Premier League. Second coming. Hopefully for him, it's much better. So 4-1 to West Ham in that moment. Emmanuel Dennis did get a shot saved in the 5th minute of extra time. And there was another big save from a corner. So Watford, they fought back to get a goal or two at the end. Might come down to goal difference. Who knows? So it's important you get as many as you could because, look, Watford started off the season scoring freely. Goals are drying up. Not many contributors, especially with Ismail Assar out injured. It's only been Emmanuel Dennis. But their defense is just terrible. Terrible. They need to work on their defense big time. I think if they're going to try to improve this team during the winter transfer window, they got to bring in somebody who could defend. William Troost-Ekong seems like he's off to the African Cup of Nations already, or if he's sick or injured. But it's not even a bad thing that he didn't play. 22nd top flight win this year for West Ham United. Last game of the year, their best year ever in their top flight history. So you got to give it to the Hammers, the Irons. Claudio Ranieri going to get the sack. Is he going to get the sack? Guys, let me know in the chat. So I think we've given West Ham United, Watford a lot of time. We're strapped for time right now. And we're going to move on. But before we do, talk about the next game for these teams. West Ham, 5th. 19 games played, 31 points. The next match will be against Crystal Palace. Then they got Leeds in the Cup. Leeds again in the Premier League. They fancy their chances of winning those 2 games. For Watford, 17th, 5 losses in a row, 13 points after 17 matches. The next game will be a tough one against London rivals Tottenham Hotspur. They got Leicester next in the Cup, and then Newcastle United for a 6-pointer. So that's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the chat, and we're going to keep it moving and move right on to the next game, and that's Southampton versus Tottenham Hotspur. Usually when I'm live and I have an audience, you guys would actually tune in, and I'll talk to you in the chat, and we'll spend a little 5 minutes in between, and then it adds an extra hour onto the show, but it's fine. I like to involve the people in the chat, so no problem with that at all. But 1-1 this one finished. Southampton scoring first. Tottenham equalizing. But just the reason why they equalized is because Salisu got sent off. As you know, I'll get into that. But Southampton somehow held on, which is crazy when you think about it. We had a freakish week. We did have a freakish week. So 6 changes made to Southampton after that 3-2 shock win, I should say, over West Ham United. Or maybe it's not shocking, right? Maybe it's not. Shane Long started. Adam Armstrong, who's gone 14 games without a goal since scoring early on in the season. They've been chopping and changing. Injuries, suspension have been really hampering Southampton's flow. But it seems like, look, they're a team in transition anyway, so it's not really affecting them too much. 3 changes for Spurs: Dele Alli, Ben Davies, Harry Winks in for Tanganga, Skip, and Lucas Moura. Kyle Walker-Peters would also be suspended for the next game after picking up a yellow in this one, early yellow, and Mohamed Salisu with the red. So Southampton will be further depleted. Not furtherly. That's not a word. They will be further depleted. Let's keep that one in mind. These are big results against these London clubs. So 15th minute, Ben Davies did score a rare goal, but he was flagged offside rightfully. And then Southampton's goal came in the 25th minute from a throw-in. Mohamed Salisu being hero and villain in the same game. And it came off Dele Alli, who failed to deal with it properly. Fell to James Ward-Prowse, who blasted a volley in the back of the net. That was an emphatic finish by Southampton's captain, and with his signature celebration with the golf celebration, which was, pretty awesome. Southampton fans would want to see him do that more often. I recently called out James Ward-Prowse for not really performing at high levels, but he has since responded with a few goals. So early goal for Southampton, which meant that Spurs had to chase the game. They have been very impressive under Antonio Conte, I have to say. So credit to them. Kudos to them. I used to really talk a lot of shit about Spurs, but not so much lately. Not so much lately. Also got to give it to Ralph Hasenhüttl and his boys for holding things down and earning this draw. 29th minute, Kane did get a chance, saved by Fraser Forster. You see Heung-min Son listed here as a king of the match. It should have been Fraser Forster. He actually earned Southampton a point, and they're lucky to have him fit. Alex McCarthy injured. Willy Caballero was brought in, and they've really struggled to keep the continuity going in terms of the 11. So you got to give credit to this Southampton team, man. Sometimes when you see they're in danger of getting relegated, they get a scrappy result, right? Draw against City, you know what I mean? As well, you could add that one to the list. I think they got a draw against Manchester United as well, if I'm not mistaken. Games are coming so fast, I'm not remembering everything. But The goal for Tottenham, the red card for Salisu. 39th minute, brilliant through ball. Son on the end of it. He ran in behind and Mo Salisu, sloppy tackle, brought him down. And he knew it. He didn't protest when he picked up that second yellow at all. The first yellow, I think, was a bit harsh. So maybe he was a bit unlucky to get sent off. Maybe he should have just gotten one yellow, play the game on the yellow. But he had to go off, marching orders to the dressing room. And penalty. Of course, Harry Kane stepped up and dispatched brilliantly to continue his hot streak, where I think that's his third goal for the season. And, you know, he's been pretty cold this season, but he's developing a bit of a hot streak, if you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. You know what I mean? So, good stuff for Spurs, getting that goal back. But it was a struggle after that. Breaking down Southampton to get that second goal was a struggle after that. Let me just put it that way. The quality dropped off a bit for both teams, of course. Southampton didn't really threaten that much. But Spurs really struggled. Harry Kane did score in the 53rd minute. Brilliant ball by Harry Winks, namesake. And it was a pity that that goal didn't stand, because Harry Winks has been putting in some really good balls lately. It's like he has a new lease on life, right? Him, Ollie Skip, and a lot of the players at Tottenham under Antonio Conte, who's given them a second chance. So VAR ruled Harry Kane offside. I think he was barely offside. Very unlucky for that goal not to stand. And there was another chance in the 78th minute, Heung-min Son to Doherty, and then Fraser Forster smothering that shot. Southampton did get one big chance late to Armando Broja, Albanian international, on loan from Chelsea. Good breakaway, scrap for the ball, protests by the Tottenham players. Eric Dyer shrugged off, and he almost scored, but the ball was blocked. That was pretty close. Brian Hill did get a good shot saved from Fraser Forster in the 95th minute of the game, as well as Southampton held on for a huge point in the grand scheme of things. You really got to give Southampton the credit here. They played well. They really played well, man. They played well. They frustrated the hell out of Tottenham. And I think they deserve at least a point from this match. Kyle Walker-Peters, former Tottenham man, he was mammoth in this match. Jan Valery did get an opportunity, rare start for him as well, where Southampton flexing all their options right now, and they need to. They definitely need to. So, look, see Dele Alli in the background there, getting some game time. I think he was kind of pissed off to get, substituted when he did. Tactical move. Look, Lucas Moura coming on. So, tactics didn't work out on the day for Antonio Conte and his boys, but that's how it is at times. At least they didn't lose, right? And I think he became the first Spurs manager to play 7 matches unbeaten, which is very important to note. So, well done, Antonio Conte, and he's doing a great job at Tottenham, man. Look, as I mentioned, I talked a lot of smack about Tottenham, but they've really pulled things back. They dominated the game, but still wasn't able to break down a very gritty Southampton team. So, well done, Ralph Hasenhuttl, who is a very nervous guy, and that would actually calm his nerves down to pick up points in back-to-back games. 3 games now, actually. The draw against Crystal Palace. These London clubs, right? They can't manage Southampton. West Ham, the win against West Ham, and the draw against Spurs. Maybe before this, I would have actually predicted them to lose all 3 of the games, but they didn't. So, for Southampton, 13th place. They have 21 points halfway through the season. If they match their first half of the season, they will be home and dry, survive, for yet another Premier League season, 2022-23. World Cup break in between, right? So for them, their next match will be against Newcastle United. They'll be fancying their chances of picking up that win. Swansea in the Cup, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Man City, and Tottenham again. So for Tottenham, who's climbing up the table slowly, 7th place right now, 17 games. They do have about 3 games in hand when it compared to Chelsea and Manchester City. And they have 30 points. So solid stuff. They'll be looking to avoid that 7th place at the end of the season. They don't want to be back into the Europa Conference League. No. You don't want to do that. And for them, the next game is against Watford. And that's coming up tomorrow, my time, 10 a.m., Saturday. That's New Year's Day. That's a New Year's Day fixture, festive fixture still. And then they have Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, Morecambe, Chelsea again, Arsenal in the North London Derby, Chelsea again. They got some tough games coming up. And, of course, Southampton, they will look to get the better of them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next time around. So that's it for that game. Southampton, the happier the two teams after the whistle was blown. So, guys, if you haven't yet liked the video yet, make sure you do so. Do that for a consistency. Do that for what I'm doing right now. It's late. It's 2 minutes to 3 a.m. I shouldn't be making videos at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy might happen, but we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going and look to finish this thing off in quick time. So smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. And you know what? To make matters worse, I have to come back later to actually preview match week 21. Pray for me. Pray for me. I'll need it. The preparation for match week 21 too is going to be tough. Pray for me, please. Please. I'm begging you. So we're going to keep it moving. And the next game that we're going to talk about is the match between Crystal Palace and Norwich. Look, don't know why I did it, but I predicted Norwich to win the game. I don't know. Could somebody please help me, man? Help me. I need help because I don't know why I did that. It's a good thing I did not bet my entire mortgage on Norwich winning the game, or else the bank would have came and took my house away, man. Because this lineup that they fielded, this team was never going to win. Gunn in place of Krul. I never anticipated the absentees, though. Ben Gibson, Sam Byron, Jacob Sorensen, Demetrius Giannoulis. Come on, that defense ain't going to win you nothing. Billy Gilmore, where the Norwich fans are screaming, go back to Chelsea and all. Mr. Plaheta, Gozolis, Pierre Lees-Melou, average player. Kenny McLean, error-prone lately. And Adam Eder. Oh, man, this team was never going to win. This team would struggle in the championship. But look, for Norwich, they lost all games in December without scoring a goal, and that's the first team to ever do that. For Palace, no Patrick Vieira on the touchline once again, with Ocean Roberts taking charge. Maybe Patrick Vieira remotely did his thing. Mark Guehi back in the team. Gallagher out. Jeffrey Schlupp in. Zaha suspended. Jean-Philippe Mateta in. Guaita started the game again. Jack Butland, out. I guess they're doing a bit of a rotation right now between the goalkeepers, which could be something healthy, right? It could be definitely healthy. For Norwich, Max Aarons miss out through injury. Sam Byron start. Zolis, Pierre Lees-Melou start. Pookie absent. I anticipated Pookie playing the game. Adam Eder starting. These guys haven't been productive. Josh Sargent on the bench haven't been productive at all. Still no Cruz, no Cantwell. Dean Smith team very depleted, as I mentioned earlier. So, look, early goal for Crystal Palace. 8-minute Hudson Edward. I did call him out before the match, player to watch. And he did step up big time in the game with 2 assists and a goal. Man of the match, Hudson Edward. Did they give it to him? Yep, they did. So Kenny McLean brought down Will Hughes. Penalty. VAR check. Give it a penalty. Edward stepped up to take it, and he scored 1-0 to Crystal Palace. There was a chance by Sorensen in the 37th minute. Not taken. And Palace countered and scored. That's a 38-minute goal there scored by Jean-Philippe Mateta. Only his second ever goal for Crystal Palace. I remember when he scored that really cheeky back flick goal, but he has been out of the team since. There's been news that they won't continue his loan. They won't want to flex the option to buy. But who knows? They might just need to do so, to just have squad depth, you know what I mean? With the climate of the coronavirus and the busy schedule, you need as many players as you can, though. You know, so 2-0 to Palace, and at that point, against this Norwich team, they were never going to relinquish that lead. Jeffrey Schlupp, he doesn't score very often, but bagged one in the 42nd minute. And Edson Odward attacking, lost the ball, and Schlupp picked up the loose ball and smashed it into the back of the net to make it 3-0 for Crystal Palace. So at halftime, it was 3-0 to Palace. The Eagles, definitely 3-0 to the Eagles. And they held on. We got a little malfunction here with the vibes. Come on, let's bring it back from the top again. You know what I'm saying? At 3 a.m., the devil is looking to interrupt the show. But, be gone, devil. Be gone. No interruption. Nothing will stop this show from completing. I have to talk about these matches this week. Have to. It gotta happen. Definitely. But second half, not much action. Plaheta did get a chance, well saved by goalkeeper Guaita. Norwich with a few good chances, but not clinical enough. And Palace held on for a resounding 3-0 win with Odward, Mateta, and Schlupp stepping up in the absence of Zaha. Very, very good stuff, man. Very good stuff by Crystal Palace. They needed that win as well. Definitely did. Falling by the wayside a bit after that 3-0 loss to Tottenham. Due to Southampton. Did pick up a win against Everton, but lost to United, Leeds, Villa, due to Burnley. So they really needed that, man. They needed that 3 points big time. And they're 11th now with 23 points. That's their 5th win of the season. Not bad. Very respectable showing by the Eagles. But Norwich still glued at the bottom of the table. 2 wins. And they have lost every single game in December. All 5. Without scoring a single goal. If you're not going to score goals, if you're going to have players scoring more goals than you, 8 goals, if you have Emmanuel Dennis scoring as many goals as you have, Salah doubling, of course, you're going to find yourself at the bottom of the table. Worst defense in the league, tied with Newcastle, and worst attack, of course. Norwich, I'm afraid. Dean Smith, I'm afraid to say you guys are going down, man. They're not recovering from this. They do not have enough quality in their team. You can look at the teams around them, lacking quality as well. But Norwich, I don't know, man. You guys are not staying up. You're not staying up. Not staying up. So, bounce back for Palace. Hudson Edward, 2 assists and a goal. Pretty good stuff. Look, we're going to keep it moving. But for Norwich, their next game is against Charlton in the FA Cup. They will look to stay in that competition at least. And then they have Everton, Watford in a 6-pointer. They play Palace again. And they got Man City, Liverpool, and Southampton on a stretch. That's hard. That's difficult. For Crystal Palace, the Eagles, looking to fly through any weather. They have a London derby against West Ham United. Next, another London derby against Millwall in the FA Cup. Then they play Brighton. And then there's Liverpool. The Brighton game is a derby as well. The M25 derby, if I'm not mistaken. Liverpool, Norwich again. So they got some tough games coming up, but good 3 points nevertheless for Crystal Palace. So guys, we're getting into the bigger games right about now. Definitely are. And let's talk about the game. Manchester United, Burnley. How are you feeling so far? Are you enjoying the show? Am I doing a great job? I've been 30 minutes in. I'm not looking to go over an hour for this one. Just want to do a quick roundup. And some of you guys might say, damn, you should do this more often. You know what I'm saying? But I'm strapped for time, but I do want to get this out to you. I do want to get it out to you. I want to at least finish this in time to get another hour of sleep before I go into work on my day off. I've been grinding, man. Got a lot of bills to pay. I got 3 kids to take care of. You know what I'm saying? I got goals as well. Let me achieve them. Smash the thumbs up button for the stream if you're enjoying the content so far. Subscribe if you're new. Manchester United bouncing back after the debacle against Newcastle United. United 3, Burnley 0. Yet another prediction I got wrong where I said Burnley are going to get a point. It's been about 18 games since 18 days, not 18 games, about 3 games or so since they've played a match. And I thought they were going to come in well rested, ready, oiled, and ready to frustrate United at Old Trafford again. They've done so recently, right? But I was wrong, man. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Hennessy started the game, and maybe he was filled with Hennessy. You know what I mean? Maybe the whole team was. Maybe they were, because United ran rings around them for the most part, dominated the game. So, Rashford, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Varane, Diego Dalot, and Telles all out of the 11, with Cavani, Sancho, Matic, Bailly, Shaw, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the team. I did anticipate Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Shaw coming back into the team, seeing that the performance against Newcastle warranted some changes, and changes were made. Ralph Rangnick doing his thing. So far unbeaten as Man United manager in the Premier League, of course. We know that. And pulling things back. And that's a good characteristic to have. Bounce back ability. When you draw and you put out a horrible performance, you bounce back with a resounding win against a team that you should beat. For Burnley, that's their first game in almost 3 weeks. Aaron Lennon started up top. Maxwell Cornet still out injured. Nick Pope fallen ill. Wayne Hennessy started his first game for Burnley. And also, just to make note, Dale Stevens, first minutes this season in Burnley colors for the former Brighton and Hove Albion man. So, look, early action. Chris Wood, a big chance that he put wide, a header, open header. That's an opportunity missed. When you're coming up against teams of better quality, you got to take every single opportunity that you get. When you have Eric Bailly and the boy Harry Maguire back there in defense, you have to pounce. You really, really got to pounce, and they didn't. Cristiano Ronaldo did not pounce on that opportunity he had in that 6 minute. Put over 9 out of 10 times. The highest goal scorer in international football would have put that into the back of the net, and he didn't. But the goal did come in the 8th minute through Scott, Mr. Scotty McTominay, who's the man of the match in my opinion. I don't know why they have Ronaldo there. Cristiano Ronaldo, Dos Santos, Aveiro. No, it was Scotty McTominay, the boy from Scotland. That's supposed to be the man of the match. He's supposed to be the man of the match. He was really good on the day. So, look, Ronaldo with a heavy touch. McTominay stealing the ball off his toes. Ronaldo was going to look to get a left-footed shot off. It would not have came to nothing. He was being closed down. And McTominay curled it around the defenders to put in his first goal in the Premier League this season. Ronaldo credited for the assist, though. I don't think he meant it. But, you know, yeah. United with the good start. Early goal. Second goal did come 27th minute after a little scrappy period there. Ben Mee with the own goal. Sancho with the great work after Burnley failed to deal with a seemingly innocuous ball. And Sancho got the ball back from Shaw. and he got a really good shot off that was tipped in by Ben Mee, the former Manchester City player. So he would actually be ruined the fact that he helped United on the day. Another goal came, but before that, Ronaldo did get a chance that he wasn't able to capitalize on in the 30th minute, but he did get his goal in the 35th. And that came after another McTominay bullet was pushed onto the post by Wayne Hennessy. And guess who was there, Johnny on the spot, to put in? Cristiano Ronaldo for his 8th Premier League goal this season. So 3 minutes later, Aaron Lennon did score his first goal this season. And that was from a really good breakaway. Eric Bailly with the assist, I should say. pretty much with the mistake. Loose touch by Bailly, and Lennon, he drove at the defender, Harry Maguire, standoffish, big time. And a kind of scrappy shot at an angle to beat David De Gea. Consolation at most for Burnley on the day. Look, the second half wasn't the best advert for the Premier League, I gotta say. Definitely wasn't, but it was a better performance by United than they put out against Newcastle United. For Burnley, remember last time out, they did earn a 0-0 draw against West Ham. It wasn't able to replicate that. Look, it is what it is. We know Burnley are a team that like to scrap it up. But guys, could this be the season where Burnley get relegated? And I said earlier when I did my live, the first live that I wasn't able to finish, I won't mind if Burnley get relegated. They're not a very attractive team to watch, but they're looking to change that with bringing Lennon back to the club, with bringing in Maxwell Cornet, and they need to sign some more flair players to have the football looking a lot more attractive. McTominay did get a great shot saved by Wayne Hennessy. McTominay was brilliant on the day, and one thing we must note is that Eric Bailly had to go off injured. Rafa Varane came on. Dalot and Fred did get cameos for Greenwood and Cristiano Ronaldo. While Dale Stevens, first minutes for Burnley this season, more creative type player. Matej Vydra and Eric Peters, the former Dutch international. So United, all 3 points. Ralph Rangnick would be a happy man. Sean Dyche continue to be very frustrated by the form his team has shown so far in the 2021-22 season, where they've only picked up a solitary win, but they've been hard to beat. 8 draws, now have 7 losses. 16 games played is the only saving grace for them. And with them having to play catch up and the teams around them not picking up points, Burnley could be out the relegation zone, in a snap of a finger. So, good try, I must say, but not good enough. For them, they're 18th right now, and their next game will be against Leeds United, another team struggling towards the bottom of the table. They got Huddersfield in the cup, Leicester City, Arsenal, some tough games, United again, Liverpool, tough games coming up for the Clarets. For Manchester United, who are now 6th after 31 points they do have right now, 18 games. Their next match will be against a very gritty Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then they got Aston Villa in the cup, Villa again, West Ham United very soon, Burnley again, February the 8th. So that's my thoughts on the game. Congrats to Manchester United. Hard luck to Burnley. So with that being said, guys, we have 2 games left, and let's not delay at all. Let's go. Let's talk. Let us talk. But look, before we do, Man United could forget about the Premier League title race. They would have to focus on top 4 or top 6. But top 4. But look, guys, without further ado, let's talk about the so-called non-existent Premier League title race. The teams that are involved in the current title race right about now. We got 3 more games to talk about, and let's run through these matches like, Usain Bolt type. Man, let's go. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. This must be frustrating for Chelsea fans. Must be frustrating. Danny Welbeck, equalizer late. Romelu Lukaku with the opening goal. This must be very frustrating if you're a Chelsea fan. And Lukaku coming out making a statement lately, talking about he's not happy and everything. Who knows what he's talking about, man? Maybe Tuchel is changing the team too much. Maybe Tuchel isn't sticking to his initial plan when he brought in Lukaku. And the Belgian international is a frustrated character over there at Stamford Bridge. So look, I got notes here. Thomas Tuchel has made the most changes this season for any manager. 2 changes for the game. Kovacic, Lukaku, center backs changed. Havertz on the bench again. Too many changes to keep up with. But 3 changes for Brighton and Hove Albion, Veltman, March, and Bissouma in. 17th minute, Azpilicueta hit the post from close range. Very, very close. Deflection as well. Unlucky not to score. Mason Mount got a shot saved at the near post by the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who has been very, very impressive to say the least. The goal did come for Romelu Lukaku, scoring in back-to-back games after failing to net a goal since September. Mason Mount with the corner for his 5th assist. Lukaku with his 5th goal. Really good header. But there was controversy in the build-up to that goal when he shrugged off Neal Maupay. And I think that goal should have been chalked off. He actually really hit Maupay in his face about twice. Double slapped him. E-Honda type stuff. Right? And the goal stood. Don't know how it, the referees are not seeing well. They're really, really not seeing well, man. Stevie Wonder stuff. Stevie Wonder type stuff. Frankie Paul type stuff, if you ask me. Jamaicans, you know what I'm talking about, right? Blind. But nevertheless, 1-0 to Chelsea in the 28th minute. But after they scored, it seems like they just switched off and they couldn't break down this Brighton team anymore. And imagine Brighton chasing the game, needing a goal, but Chelsea can't break them down. And it's just the hallmark of this very, very good Brighton team under Graham Potter. Guys, I was watching the City-Brentford game the same time this match was playing. And for a second, I kind of got confused because Brighton was playing in that light green kind of color and it looked like a Man City kit. To be honest, I was like, I thought I was watching City play. I'm not kidding you at all. Maybe I was dreaming or something, but I always call them mini Man City though. They play very attractive football, but they do pass the ball too much, a bit too much back and side. So, Reece James, 27 minute, went off injured. That's another setback there for Chelsea. Alonso on. Thomas Tuchel have been changing the team, and he was forced to making that change. So, next game for Chelsea against Liverpool, they could be without Reece James. Adam Lallana had a shot saved by Edward Mendy, who has been brilliant, but will be going to the African Cup of Nations. He would be definitely missed. Lallana should have scored, but good effort. Scrappy play there. Bissouma involved and all, but unlucky not to get the goal. Antonio Rudiger, 48th minute with that 2-footed challenge on Tariq Lamptey, the former Chelsea man. He got a yellow for that one, and it was very rash, very rash. It could have caused a horrible injury to the player and could have put him out for a long time. I don't know why Rudiger had to go in so vigorously, but, you know, fortunately for the young and former Chelsea man, he was okay. He really, really tormented the hell out of Chelsea running down the right flank, though. So big up to the boy Tariq Lamptey. Look, Andreas Christensen was also forced off. 46 minute, Chalobah came on. And that's another setback there for Chelsea. I don't know if it was a serious injury or if it was a tactical change. But from what I could recall, it was an injury. So I might be wrong, but it's kind of cloudy, you know, trying to recall what actually happened to Andreas Christensen, why he was taken off. I think he was injured. Why else would you take him off and bring on Chalobah, right? So Jakob Moder, 47th minute, had a chance. Def shot that went just over the crossbar and had Mendy, a nervous man, inches away. Solly Marsh with the ball and chipped in by Adam Lallana. So Brighton starting very brightly in the second half. They were very spirited. 53rd minute, Yves Bissouma with a brilliant volley save by Mendy again, who kept Chelsea in the match as they held on to a very slim 1-0 lead. McAllister, 57th minute, to Neil Maupay, and his effort was put wide barely. Brighton were just breathing down Chelsea's neck, and they were just threatening every 5 minutes or so. They were brilliant. They were really brilliant in the game. Really good fight back. 58th minute, Kovacic with a yellow foul on Tariq Lamptey again. Mentioned that earlier that Lamptey frustrated the hell out of Chelsea. 60th minute, Brighton Hove and Albion almost score. Mendy smothered. Rudiger with the block. Was a good breakaway. And Chelsea were just looking ragged in the second half there. 65th minute, another great chance. I think Lallana should have scored that one, and he put it over. That was one of the best opportunities in the game to score, but Brighton were teasing. Mason Mount and what's his name? Yves Bissouma did get a yellow card each for a little bust up between the two players. Nice to see the little competition going on there. Feistiness. You never want to see players like, touching heads and things like that, but it's good for the game. Good for the game. Good that the blood was boiling. Show how intense the game was. And then that dreadful moment for Chelsea. The 94th minute. Danny Welbeck. Well, it's listed as 90 plus 1, but yeah, I think it was 90 plus 1. Maybe I wrote down the wrong thing, but Cucurella with the ball in, and Welbeck in between the two Chelsea defenders. I think that was Rudiger and Chalobah he jumped between. He came off the bench, coming back from injury, and scored his first goal against Chelsea. He had to wait 10 years for that stint with United, and Arsenal didn't yield anything against Chelsea. Only his second goal of the season, and Brighton yet again with another late goal. We know that Maupay has picked up a couple late goals, and they just doing a thing, man. Brilliant point to pick up, man. That's a big point. They recently pick up points against Chelsea as well, and now they do so again. Frustrating times over there at Stamford Bridge for the Blues as they drop more points. What's the problem with Chelsea as they look to stay in the title race? They're falling by the wayside, now 8 points behind Manchester City. With Liverpool to play this weekend, one of Chelsea or Liverpool are going to drop points, and it's very good for City. If you're a City fan like myself, it's very good. I'm loving it right now. I hope both of them drop points. I really do. But look, we could talk all day about this. We have 2 games to touch on, and I don't have a lot of time. Still want to catch an hour's sleep, so we're going to keep it moving. But hard luck to Chelsea. Well played to Brighton. And I want to talk about Chelsea some more, though. I really do. I really do, though. That 1-1 draw against Brighton, they did get the better of Aston Villa. Gerrard wasn't on the touchline. I think they would have done better with Gerrard on the touchline. But that 0-0 against Wolves, that 1-1 against Everton, right? Barely beaten Leeds United. Lost to West Ham United. 1-1 against Manchester United. And that 1-1 against Burnley. Then you could even go back further to the loss against Manchester City. So it's been a horrible time for Chelsea this season, if you ask me. Even though they're second, they're the champions of Europe. They should be doing a lot better, but they're not. 2 losses and 6 draws. It's the draws that's the problem. Draws are like losses, in my opinion. You get 1 point, you drop 2, 6 by 2, that's 12 points dropped. That's 12 points dropped. City only with 2 draws, that's 4 points dropped for those draws. That's the difference right there. And 2 losses. 6 points. 10 points dropped for City, and for Chelsea, they have already dropped, what, 18 points? It's not good. Not good at all. Not good. Got to get the act together, Chelsea. I actually think the title race is over. I think it's over. It's all about top 4 right now and not getting caught. by the likes of Arsenal, West Ham United, and Tottenham. So for Chelsea, as I mentioned, their next game is against Liverpool. That's a big one. Then they got Tottenham in the EFL Cup twice, and sandwiching the Chesterfield game in the FA Cup. And then after that, Manchester City, and then Tottenham. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for Chelsea in terms of the title race. I mean, you know, top four, yeah, they could get that, but the title race ain't looking good at all. It's not looking good. If you're a Chelsea fan, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you feel. So for Brighton and Hove Albion, they're still in the top 10, rounding off at 10th position, 24 points. Only 16 more needed to survive, and then look to work on achieving other goals, secondary goals, right? Brilliant stuff, man. Brilliant stuff. The next game is against Everton. Then they got West Brom in the Cup, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Watford, Burnley. Easy games, if you ask me, if you're a Burnley fan. Brighton fan, right? Pretty easy, right? Nah, it'll be challenging games, but I think the win probability is very good for Brighton and Hove Albion, as the Seagulls fly through any weather. So, guys, it's your boy Dom. 2 more games to go. Let's try to do those games in the next 15 minutes or so, if I can make that happen. But I think I've been doing well. 51 minutes so far, 5 matches. That's 10 minutes per game. Not doing pretty well. I should have done a lot better. But let me not waste no more time. Let's talk about this game. I won't spend too long on this one, however. Brentford 0, Manchester City 1. And look, guys, you got to give it to Man City. 10 wins on the bounce. Phil Foden, the man of the match, listed there. It was a scrappy win, not the most polished performance. I'm not really going to get into lineup changes. I can't keep track of Pep Guardiola and his lineup changes. I was trying to, watch the Chelsea game, tune right into this one after dropping my wife off to work and everything. And it was just hectic. It was just hectic keeping up with all these fixtures. But look, Fernandinho started the game again. And my surprise was, I'm not surprised. Nathan Ake deployed as a left back in the game to go alongside João Cancelo, who was recently in the news. We're getting beat up by some burglars, so feel better. Get well soon, João Cancelo. I hope you could play the game on the weekend against Arsenal. And it's just unfortunate that people are targeting these footballers and burglarizing their homes and even assaulting them. No respect whatsoever to these wonderful human beings who provide us with such entertainment. And João Cancelo has been brilliant. Ruben Diaz as well in the defense. Midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Fernandinho. Once again, Rodri missing from the squad. Don't know why, along with Kyle Walker. So, look, I always talk about City could change their top 3, play anybody. Jesus, Grealish, Foden, anybody could play. You could play Mahrez, Sterling. You could bring in the young Cole Palmer if you want. And you still get a good result if you're lucky, right? If you're lucky. But for Brentford, who's been heavily depleted, Mbeumo out, Wissa in. You have Mads Roselef starting. He hasn't been starting games. Dominic Thompson, who I think was Brentford's best player on the day, starting the match as well. Mads Beck Sorensen getting another start alongside Pinnock and Pontus Janssen. Alvaro Fernandez in goal for the injured David Raya, who's been out for some time. Thomas Frank, look, I think you guys put out a good performance. You were never winning the game, in my opinion. But it's just saving face by conceding only 1 goal, in my opinion. It was a good effort. And they started out the brighter of the 2 teams with Johan Wissa with 2 big chances, forcing saves out of Edison. And there was a very close chance for Brentford in the 15th minute. And João Cancelo had to smartly clear the ball off the line with a header. But just after that clearance, it was from defense to attack in the blink of an eye. Phil Foden down the other end, Kevin De Bruyne with the cross, and the most sublime finish you could ever see in your life, pulled off by Phil Foden, who managed to barely stay onside. VAR did check it, but the goal stood. 1-0 to City. It turned out to be the game's only goal. And it was City's 27th first half goal this season, where they have only conceded 1 and that's against Crystal Palace in a losing cause. Wilfried Zaha scoring that goal. It's an amazing stat when you really think about it, though. But 1-0 at halftime, well played by Brentford. Ivan Toney did get a little kick out with him and Fernandinho. That was the only little action in the remainder of the second half. It was a very scrappy game where City really struggled to break Brentford down, and Brentford also struggled to threaten after the earlier stages of the game. So look, according to my notes, well played Brentford. Great start, unlikely not to get an early goal, and undone by a moment of Phil Foden magic. Phil Foden did score a second one, a header in the 50th minute, but he was offside. And Kevin De Bruyne did hit the post in the 66th minute. 82nd minute, Dominic Thompson had to be taken off injured. Simon Godos came on and he looked very bright. But it would be a big setback for Brentford with Dominic Thompson picking up another injury to add to the likes of Christopher Aya, Josh De Silva, who has been out, David Raya, and co. Also, Christian Norgard was suspended from this game, and you have Rico Henry suffering from an injury as well. So they've been, really set back by injuries and the coronavirus lately. And at that point in time, City actually made no subs. Pep didn't make a single substitution up until that point and ended up not making a single substitution in the game. He doesn't do that very, very often, but in games like this where you have to scrap, if you do end up changing a player, you could just throw off the whole dynamic of things, and it will just be that one player who might actually be on his heels or fall asleep at the wrong time, and you end up conceding. You see what I mean? So 87 minute, Foden foul. Kevin De Bruyne with the free kick. Laporte did score, and that would have settled the nerves late in the match, but it was deemed offside. And I was actually happy for Laporte. I like seeing the defenders score. There's been about 16 different goal scorers this season for City, and it would have been another effort by Laporte that would have been just a bonus. You see what I mean? Gabriel Jesus did get a brilliant shot saved after some great individual skill at the byline there to get past the Brentford defenders. So that was the last bit of action in the game. City held on for narrow 1-0 win, and they stay on top of the table. They will also stay in London for the few days where they will face Arsenal next. So it doesn't make sense to go back to Manchester. You stay in London, acclimatize, and pick up another win, hopefully. But quality performance yet again. A win is a win, and especially in the festive period where you're playing game after game after game after game after game, to scrap out a win like this, look, you gotta give credit. It's not pretty, but it's important. It's important that you get the W at the end of the day. While teams around City are crumbling and dropping points, they keep picking up the 3 points. That's why there's an 8-point gap between Chelsea and Man City. And let's say Liverpool pick up a victory. Let's just say they pick up a victory. They'll only have, and let's say City, let's say they pick up a victory with a game in hand. City will still have a 6-point gap over Liverpool, which is healthy enough. And Klopp said that it is in his interview. 6 points behind Man City. It's a lot of points, man. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points if you ask me. But great performance by the team. Pep would be a happy man. And I like to see that, Phil Foden and Grealish back into the mix after a little bit of punishment there for the ill discipline off the field. But look, you had to get them involved once again. Look, Bernardo Silva, he's been working tirelessly. Kevin De Bruyne back at his best. Jesus has been underrated this season. All the players have really pulled their weight, man. And you got to give credit to this really good team. Edison deserves a shout for this match. He was brilliant in goal. I can't wait until the season is wrapped up where we could start giving Scott Carson and even Zach Steffen some game time. I know. You know, luxury stuff, if you ask me. Yeah, you know, give a few youngsters, blood a few youngsters at the end of the season. I'm loving it. I think the Premier League title is wrapped up. I think it's wrapped up. I really think it's wrapped up. So I'm not going to continue to brag about how good City have been, but how good have City been, guys? Come on. Brilliant. Brilliant. For City, the next game is against Arsenal, and then they got Swindon Town away in the FA Cup. Big game against Chelsea, Southampton, Brentford again, and Norwich, February 12th. The next games that's on the horizon. Top of the table right now, 50 points, 51 goals, best attack, best defense in the league, best team in the league, best team in Europe, if you ask me. Maybe I'm getting a little carried away. No Champions League, right? I know. But look, for Brentford, they're 14th, 20 points in their first 18 games, first Premier League appearance in the Premier League era, first top flight appearance in donkey years. They haven't done too badly if they replicate this in the second half of the season. In the Rock Ronda, they'll be okay. They'll be in the Premier League for yet another season. They play Aston Villa next, Port Vale in the Cup, Liverpool, where they picked up a 3-3 draw last time around. And if you're a City fan, you would want Brentford to do so again. Well played, and all the best. Good first half of the season. As a City fan, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this. And guys, we're going to land the plane right now, and we're going to do so with the game. Leicester 1, Liverpool 0. I don't know how this actually happened, though. But you got to give Leicester some credit. You got to give them, not some, a lot of credit for this win. This was an unexpected win. I thought that Liverpool were going to walk all over Leicester City. And the reason why, Liverpool had a break over the weekend where the game against Leeds was postponed. And for Leicester, they had just suffered a horrible, demoralizing 6-3 loss against Man City on Boxing Day. And a week earlier, a couple days earlier, they had lost to the exact team Liverpool 3-3 after the 90th minute, 5-1 pens. And they were 3-1 up in the game. So it was a demoralizing 2 games, right? Very demoralizing. And that's coming after getting knocked out of the Europa League as well, going down into the Conference League, losing to Aston Villa, drawing to Southampton. So they've been going through a rough patch, if I'm being completely honest. And this win is a bonus, and it's a huge morale booster in the grand scheme of things, where they're looking to come from behind this season to get top 6 or top 4 football instead of staying in the top 6 for the entire season and then falling out the top 4 last minute. But big win, man. Big win. Liverpool, I know you're disappointed about this. The fans are disappointed. Klopp's disappointed. The players disappointed. But that's part of the game, man. Leicester, I think, wanted it more. And they just grind it out. They really grind it out. And the reason why I said they wanted it more, because Liverpool had numerous opportunities on top of opportunities to score. You're talking about 21 shots, 4 on target, 64% of the ball, comparing to 6 shots for less than 1 solitary shot on target. That was the undoing of Liverpool. So for Leicester, no established center backs in the game. That's something that's worrying as well. When you have Amate, Ndidi, Castagna, and Luke Thomas, who's a winger at the back there. Come on, man. You have 3 academy players in the team, Hamza Chowdhury, Luke Thomas, and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who I think is man of the match. Who do they have? They have Schmeichel. It's Dewsbury-Hall. Dewsbury-Hall is man of the match. And we got to identify this youngster for his brilliance, because he's really slotted into the midfield seamlessly and has been performing at some high levels. You think about Conor Gallagher, you think about Kieran Dewsbury-Hall right about now. He deserves a lot of credit, man. So Luke Thomas started, Ndidi, Amate, as I mentioned, Vardy back in the team, in form, Maddison, the player to watch as well. So early on in the game, Fabinho, who came back, well, Matip picked up the yellow, but Fabinho came back in the game Van Dijk started as well, and Tsimikas for the absent Andy Robertson, who has one more game to serve as well. So early on in the game, Matip with the foul on Iheanacho, putting pressure on himself very early. And if you look back at the Lookman goal, Matip was there. He couldn't really do much because he had got the yellow card already, if you really think about it. So Sadio Mane, as I have to mention, no goals in his last 9 in all competitions. He had opportunities, man. Mane got to step up. Maybe Liverpool won't even miss him for the AFCON. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been a ghost lately. The big moment in the game, man. Salah getting brought down by Ndidi, I think. He did get clipped, but he made the most of it, in my opinion. A lot of theatrics. But maybe it's a bit unfair of me to say that. But look, he should have scored this. Look, when you go down emphatically like that, you got to score, man. You got to score. You see I was telling you about Joel Matip? You got to score, man. You got to score. You got to score. And Salah don't usually miss penalties. If you want anybody on a penalty, you want Mo Salah. Don't know what happened there, man. Don't know what happened there, but he hit it straight down the middle. Kasper Schmeichel, you got to give it to the Dane. Big save. Big save. Big save. Couldn't say it anymore. Big save. And Salah, to make it worse, got the rebound to put in and didn't put in the rebound. Hit the crossbar. Like, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Huge opportunity twice to score, and you don't score. You don't score. You don't score. Leicester did cause a bit of trouble on the counter attack there, but unlucky not to get a goal of their own. Big opportunity missed by Salah, but credit to the goalkeeper and Ndidi, a relieved man. Oxlade-Chamberlain put a ball into the box, and it almost found its way into the back of the net. Remember that ball in by Ox? Henderson tried to head it in, and it kind of threw off Schmeichel, who barely kept it out. So Liverpool had opportunities. Jota in the 28th minute shot, Henderson with the flick on, Schmeichel with the save, but the offside flag went up. But VAR would have given the goal on review. Don't know many of you remember that instance. 32nd minute, Schmeichel with the save, Salah with the shot. That one was very, very, very close. Big saves. Actually, Schmeichel, you do deserve the man of the match, but Kieran Dewsbury Hall, I think, deserves it more. 35th minute, Vardy with the shot blocked by Matip. Alisson would have been beaten indeed. Leicester did get these few chances on the counter where they really threatened Liverpool. You know, Liverpool play this high line and they allow the players to get in behind. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold is always out of position. Tsimikas as well. So you get Vardy in behind, and he almost scored. Matip with the clearance off the line there. 38th minute, another Leicester chance. Vardy failed to actually get the ball on target or even find a teammate, and that one was wasted. Jota did get a chance in the 45th minute, extra time setting, that he put wide. So Liverpool got the opportunities, big ones, to score. They didn't. 0-0 at halftime. So, look, I did make a note that Leicester played 2 days ago. And Leicester, they were weakened. Well, Leicester were weakened as well. But Liverpool weekend game was postponed. And their first team was rested in the EFL Cup game. So you expected them to be the fresher of the two teams. You expected them to be all over Leicester City. Listen, nothing like that happened, man. Nothing like that happened. Nothing like that happened. When I say all over them, I mean like all over them. Like 4-0. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but yeah. No recognized center backs, and you can come on. Mane, the best chance of the game, 55th minute, and he put it over. I don't know how he didn't score there. I think it was on his weaker right foot, but still, man, come on, Mane. You got to score that. You got to score that. Even I'll score that. I'll score that with my eyes closed. Being ridiculous, but he should have scored that, though. Look, subs were made, and this is where the game changed. Right here is where the game changed. Lookman on for Chowdhury, and Iheanacho coming off, Yuri Telemans coming on, and that's where the game changed. Naby Keita on for Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. Liverpool, with the personnel change, could have thrown them off as well. Just note that. 59th minute, the only goal of the game. Good breakaway by Leicester City down the left side. Trent out of position, and you could see him running back in the play. Why does Trent Alexander-Arnold run so slowly, though? For a youngster, he's so slow. He is so slow. He's running in slow motion, man. And look, man, with the trickery, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall with the assists, and how he got that ball past Alisson, man, I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. But to get past Matip, Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, his trickery, his guile, his skill, and wow, what a goal for the former Everton, man. That must have been sweet. Masterclass, if you ask me, by Brendan Rodgers. Masterclass. And people would keep saying, oh, Trent, damn, why you always on Trent? This is why I'm on Trent. This is why. Fabinho was taken off. Somebody was telling me that they think Fabinho has been a little bit off his pace. Could be true. Milner brought on, and I don't think that change was an effective change at all. I don't think that affected the game much, if you ask me. I really don't think so. But at that moment, I made a note that Dewsbury-Hall was having a great game along with Schmeichel, and Joel Matip was Liverpool's best player on the day. A few forward runs as well, unsuccessful. Roberto Firmino came on for Jordan Henderson as Klopp looked to change things and get some more impetus. Jamie Vardy suffered a bit of injury, but he actually stayed on, and that would have been a big setback there for the Leicester team if he was to go off injured, because they've been dealing with a lot of injuries lately, man. And if Vardy was to, like, for real go off, that would have been another big setback for Leicester City. And they did get a setback where James Maddison went off injured, and he's been their talisman all season. Albrighton came on, and he's been a good servant to Leicester over the years, title winner and all. But Maddison, you can't afford to lose him for a prolonged period of time at all. So, look, Jota did get a great header, a great chance in the 82nd minute that he put wide. And look, Virgil van Dijk even got a shot off that was saved with the foot by Kasper Schmeichel. And it was a scrappy finish, very tricky. The last few moments of the game and the extra time where, you know, Liverpool were looking to get that late goal. Alisson even came up for a corner, but nothing doing. Leicester hold on for a big win, a big shock win. This is a bonus win for Leicester, if you ask me. I never expected that. Never expected that at all. Never expected it. But we know they're a quality team and they could pick up these results. But I never expected that with the lineup that they had against Liverpool in the form that they were showing across the season. But I think there were signs of Liverpool falling off a bit. That game against Tottenham, game against Villa, they struggled a bit. Newcastle, they went behind, they came back. Leicester in the EFL Cup, and now they lose to Leicester. It's a big setback for Liverpool. It's a huge setback where they're now third, a game in hand to Chelsea, and they will play Chelsea next. That's a 6-pointer in the so-called title race, which is non-existent right now. If you ask me, the league's going to get boring from now on until May. Unless you want to talk top four, unless you want to talk relegation scrap, which is more exciting right now than actually talking about the damn Premier League title race. I think City's got it wrapped. Klopp looks like he's resigned to that fact as well. Rodgers, you see, a happy man. Look, getting the better of his old team hasn't been achieved a lot, but they deserve it on the day. They really fought, they really scrapped, and you could see how happy they were. So, Soumare, I don't think he had the best game, but look, he tried. Win at the end. Look, let's land the plane for Liverpool. The next game is against Chelsea. That's a huge one. Arsenal twice in the Cup semi-final, and they got Shrewsbury in the FA Cup third round. Brentford Crystal Palace, Leicester again, Burnley. So Liverpool are third. For Leicester City, they are ninth, 25 points. The next game will be against Watford in the FA Cup, as the next game is actually postponed against Norwich this weekend. So that's one postponement that will happen this weekend. I think there's another postponement if I'm not mistaken, you know. But we're not going to get into that one right now. We will talk about that later on in the day, where I have to do the preview for match week 21. So, yeah. Leicester against Watford in the Cup. Then they play Burnley in the Premier League, Brighton, and Liverpool again February 10th. So, guys, it's a wrap. That's all 7 games this week. Let's briefly take a look at the Premier League table. The teams that did not play this week, let's just touch on them really, really quick. Arsenal, they're 4th, 35 points. They're doing well in the league so far. So big up to Arteta and his boys there. You got Wolves, they're 8th. They have 25 points after 18 games. Bruno Lage and in charge, doing well. You got Aston Villa, 12th. Steven Gerrard isolating from coronavirus, 22 points, not bad at all. You got Everton, Rafa Benitez, 15th. They got to pull their act together. Not a very good first half of the season. And the same for Leeds United. Second season back in the Premier League syndrome, if you ask me, for Marcelo Bielsa and the Whites. They gotta really buckle up, man. Buckle down, I should say. Oh, buckle up. Put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a hell of a ride for the second half of the season. So, guys, your boy Dominic Rich, hour 16 minutes done. 3:54 a.m. I'm about to go to bed. At least see if I could get an hour sleep. I got to go to work. I have to be at work at 5:30. It's some overtime I'm doing. I'm working overtime now. I'm grinding. It's just dedication and it's sacrifice. You're not going to achieve anything without those two. So this is where I land the plane. All the best to all the teams on match week 21. And it's better late than never that I got this out. I'm really happy that I got it out. So, from your boy Dom, subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you haven't yet done so. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. And please let me know if I missed any major talking points. Because I'm not perfect, but I think I did well. Thanks. I'm glad I got this done. I'm really glad I got this done. You see what I'm saying? I'm really happy I got this done. Well, peace, man. Peace. Those of you guys who know will know how happy I am that I got this done. Peace out. Much love, much respect. Last roundup of 2021. Bye-bye, 2021. Hi, 2022. Peace.